Hey guys, it's me, Kate again. So in this video, we'll be talking about all the book series that I started in 2021. I'll have to first go to a few honorable mentions because I technically read all the books that are out so far. And either the last book is coming like November or December this year, I think November. And in a couple of cases, I read all the books that are published so far, and I don't know at the moment will they have any more installments in them. And those are Romancing a Curse by Lisa Casey, which is following basically a guy who inherits a house from this woman he knew, and her family was cursed, something about their first love dying or something like that, and she never had kids because so the curse can die with her, and she left him the house so he can break it. Then we have Kidzona Chronicles by Lisa Casey, which is about a Kidzona named Liam who is who has been attacked a year ago, and now he's on the run. And now he bumps into Liam, an alpha werewolf who actually saved him a year ago. And also we have Simply Crafty series by Lisa Casey. Again, I read all the books that are out up to date. And I don't know if there will be any more here. We're following basically a couple of guys who work in this basically ghost tour business around New Orleans. And also we have as honorable mention Aurora Cycle series, which Aurora Scent comes out soon. By the time you're seeing this, it might be already out, I'm not sure, but I don't know if I'll have time to read it before the end of the year or so. Then we have Pillars of Magic Dominion by Lisa Casey as first series on the official list. Basically here we're following witches and their dominion and stuff that goes on in there. I only read first two books, so I'm not that far into it, and at the moment I don't think that I will read the rest of the books before the end of the year, but I might, who knows. Then we have Inkheart by Cornelia Funke. I have the first book on my December TBR, so I'll probably won't get much more into it than that. Then we have Wayward Children series by Mcguire, where I read the only first two books, and we're following a group of these wayward children who went to the parallel worlds and want to go back to them. And they're in this school. Then we're rotating books with setting in the school and setting in the world. Then we have Serpent and Dove series by Shelby McHorn. Also read only first book, not sure if I like much more than that this year. We are following a witch and a witch hunter who had to get married. And we have, no, I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue on with this one, so I'll just skip it. Then we have Mirror Visitor series by Christine Dabo. I basically listened to the first two books on audio. In this series, we're following this woman Ophelia who is forced to marry a guy who from a different arc, and this world was separated into arcs, and she's married off to the another one, and stuff goes from there. There are 4 books in total, and they were read the first 2. Then we have Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I listened to the first one on audio, not sure how far I'll get into it this year. Who knows? I might finish it, but that's highly unlikely so. In this one we're following a woman who is sent to the past in Scotland. I don't know how much in the past. Don't remember. Then we have Ram of the Elderling by Robin Hobb. At the moment of filming this, I only listened to the Farsia Trilogy and first 2 books in the Life Ship Trader series, and I have the rest to go. And we're forming this world where these things called Elderlings, and they are basically like gods of this world. Then we have Iceling Sea by Vanessa Ranson, which is, I read the first book this year, which was On These Black Sands, and we're following basically this world where there's pirates, and they are traveling around that sea. Then we have Grisha Wars by Lee Bardugo. I specifically wrote Grisha Wars because I read first 2 books in Shadow and Bone trilogy and 6 of Crows, so I haven't read the rest, and we're following characters in this world where these people called the Grisha who basically have powers. Then we have Deathless by Namina Forna. I read the first book, The Guild Ones, this year. We're following a girl who lives in this world when if her blood runs red, she can stay at her village, but if her blood runs cold, she must go, and her blood actually runs cold. But the opportunity to go presents itself for her to go and to be a part of the army of girls like her. Then we have Sight by Neil Schusterman. In this series we are following 2 Sights and apprentices, and Sights are these people who basically clean people because humanity has conquered death, and now to keep population at bay, Sights clean people. Then we have a Good Girl's Guide to Murder series by Holly Jackson. I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder this year. It was interesting, not great, but I'm interested in continuing on with a series. In this first one, we're following a girl who... there was a girl killed some time ago, and basically her boyfriend was convicted, and then he killed himself in prison. But our main character and that boyfriend's younger brother are trying to find out who the actual killer is, so they can clear the older brother's name. Then we have Blood Like Magic series by Leslie Sombra. I listened to the Blood Like Magic earlier this year and enjoyed it fine, but I'm interested in seeing what else she does with the series, because in this first one we're following a girl who to become full-on witch, she actually needs to ruin the future of her first love. So she goes on a quest to find actually her first love. Then we have Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. This year I read only first 2 books. I don't think I'll finish either the original trilogy, let alone the second they are before the end of the year. That's just impossible. And in this one we're following a world where there are these people called Allomancers who can ingest metals, and each metal they can ingest gives them different power, but there are these people, Mistborns, who can ingest all of the metals, and and we're following a guy named Kelsier who is forming a band of Allomancers to overthrow Final Empire, which is currently in their world because 300 years ago the Dark Lord actually won the war. Then we have a Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I like the first one Caraval fine, so we're following these 2 sisters who really want to go to this Caraval, which is basically a circus where actually audience is part of the show, so you actually need to move around this island which functions as a circus to actually get the full experience of it. And I joined the first one fine. I think I'm gonna continue. Then we have Fable by Adrienne the Young. I really enjoyed the first one, Fable, where we're following a girl whose father basically left her on this island a few years ago, and now she finally managed to get off the island and wants what he promised her to, and wants to get that. And then we have Fence by S.C. Packard, Joanna the Mad, and then novels are written by Sarvis Brennan. So we're following a group of boys who actually go to this fencing school, and shenanigans ensue. And I cannot speak about this series without mentioning that 2 of the boys consider themselves each other's rival, and they're basically roommates, which led them to separating their room with this blue sheet, which has rubber ducks printed on it. The image itself is so ridiculous that I cannot think how anybody can anyone can to comprehend this series seriously, because I sure can, and that's why I love it. Then we have Red Winter Trilogy by Annette Marie. Again, the one that I listened to the first book earlier this year, and I'm not sure that I'm gonna finish it before the end of the year. So in this one we're following a girl who is being cherished as the sacrifice to become the vessel for a god, and while she is in this house she has to be until the day that the day she has to become the vessel comes. She meets a Kidzona and stuff happens. Then we have Shine by Jessica Young. In this one we're following a girl named Rachel Kim, who is Korean American K-pop trainee, and one day the opportunity, and if her label doesn't debut, her now there never will, and one day the opportunity presents itself for her to actually sing a duet with her label's Golden Boy, and she's determined to take it. And we have then Lowboat Taipei by Abigail Hank Wen. And we're following a girl named Eva Wong whose parents sent her to this educational program in Taiwan, which ends up being a summer-long party. Then we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Original series by Kazuki Takahashi. Still haven't finished that, and I don't know when I will. And then we have, of course, Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells, which is, I think, still ongoing, and I read and listened to only the first book on audio. And in this one we're following a Murderbot, which is this security cyborg thingy, and it calls itself Murderbot. And but the thing is, it doesn't want to actually do its job, but just be in its room and watch illegally downloaded soap operas. Because guess what? It's hacked. It's government module, but nobody knows that, so it has to act like it's still under it. But the premise itself is ridiculous to no end, so if you like this video, like, share and subscribe. Down below you have my social media, my email and some other stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.